be like, OK, this is what the manager wants? Would he be happy with that? Because one of the, not frustrations, definitely not a frustration, one of the criticisms probably I've had watching United in that system is at times where they are a flat five and they can't get out to get pressure on the ball, and the two midfielders are almost left there just having to cover a huge amount of space.
I think when it's really high on the pitch, I don't think it matters what formation you're playing. At the end, you almost go man for man anyway.
Yeah.
So I think in the five, in that situation, I'm just seeing the guys in front. I'm going to go in tight with them. Whether or not you're in a 4 or 5, I don't think it matters. But like you said there, when you get pinned back in a 5, that probably happens a little bit more deeper on the pitch, maybe mid-block, and certainly towards the edge of your own box.
Obviously, you're with him for the start, and then through the rest of his sort of first half season in charge, if you like. We talk a lot about the system. Jamie talks a lot about the system, as does everybody. Yeah. Does he coach that system and the way that it operates a lot?
Yeah, I mean, he's quite structured in his training sessions in terms of the way he wants you to play, and most of the time, a lot of the sessions will be done in the shape. You know, I think he's quite clever in the fact that he won't just put a session on just for the sake of it. A lot of it will be done in terms around structure, build up, how you want to defend, and he'll use those sessions. Obviously, last season, I was injured for quite a lot towards the end, but there was also a lot of games. So in terms of the training sessions, he will see that this season, with not being in Europe, as a chance to really drive those things home.
You're going to get the counters out, Jamie.
Yeah, we just want to
works.
look and put the system out. We've done this a lot with Manchester United because, as I say, they're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We analysed them, we watched them so much. But we're going to look at the team that played at the weekend. And when I look at this team, I actually probably look at that and think, that is Manchester United's best team. I don't think there's anyone really missing who would maybe come into that. So, again, we go back to the first game, your experience with the manager. So, your experience plus your own idea on how this play. What are the positives of this system under Ruben Amorim, and what are the negatives for you?
Well, I mentioned earlier about there's not too many moving parts, so you're quite set in your shape. So, in terms of when they're defending, they'll be defending in a low block. You'll have most teams end up with maybe 5 at the back along the edge of your box defending, because you might have runners. So are
you classing that as a negative in that this system can push you back?
No, I'm saying that when you are under attack and you are on the edge of your box, more than likely you will be in a 5. So the team's almost set to how they would defend on the edge of the box. On the other side, when you attack, when you push the wing backs up, when you're attacking, you'll have 5 on their last line, almost without having to move too much. Do
you think that's what he likes about the system? Because you can get almost 5 attacking players, even plus Bruno, into it.
I don't know if that's personal, but I'm just saying that I don't know if that's what he likes. But for me, sort of watching and playing a little part in it, if I was playing in a 5, I would say that's probably the benefits of it, that you can have 5 on the last line and also defend with 5.
I think what you're talking about as well, we see a lot of teams get 5 on the last line. Everybody does, and that's the way. And it's just different systems can get you that. I think the problem with this system is that when you think about wing-backs, and think about the weekend, Ahmad, he's been getting questioned, he got caught out at the back post. But as a wing-back, you're asked to be a full-back defensively. So Ahmad's has to be here and defend crosses at the back post. He got done by Gibbs-White. But then when he gets up here, he's asked to be a winger. Now, he is more of a winger. He's probably more suited to that position. But then Dallow's the opposite, where he may be able to deal with that better. But when he gets on the last line and they actually get the ball to Dallow, he can't beat a man. He's not going to play a clever pass. He's not going to get a cross in. So for me, that's a little bit of the downfall in terms of getting 5 on the last line, is whether these players have the quality. When you think of the other teams in the league, they'll still get the same numbers. But if that's Manchester traditions of the club as well as anybody, this system, for me, doesn't feel right for Manchester United, as in, like, the history of the club. I think of wingers. I'm talking about Dallow receiving the ball in this position. That's Ryan Giggs. That's going back even for that's George Best, Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah. How would you feel as a Manchester United man in terms of this system going forward for the club, and whether, you think of the players you played alongside as well?
I think as long as it's working, I think, certainly in terms of supporters, people involved with the club, people just want to see the club being successful. And if they feel that this will sound well in the summer, I hope the club back me again, whether that's January, whether they can do that or not. But going into the summer for the next season,
how vital, sorry, Johnny, how vital is Bruno to all this, do you think?
People are questioning why Bruno's playing in a deeper role, but he's kind of in those inside positions. Probably doesn't suit. They're probably like inverted wingers, aren't they? Playing in those sort of 10 positions. I think here gives him a little bit more. You miss his creativity, I suppose, towards the edge of the box, but the manager certainly gives him license that when the team get higher up, Casemiro in this team will sit, and Bruno will be able to join the attack.
Bruno Fernandes plays there because he's probably the only central midfielder they've got. I know he's not a proper central midfielder. The only player who can get on the ball, get on the half-turn and feed these players between the lines. And that will take us to our next piece, Dave, after the break.
Ah, there is a theme. I like that. I like that. There is a link there. Yeah, we've got more analysis to come for you. We've got a live game from the Stadium of Light.
It's polarising, it's divisive, and it was at the forefront of Nottingham Forest's draw at home to Manchester United. Why? Because for the second week running, it couldn't intervene when a corner was, in Sean Dyche's view, incorrectly awarded against them. So we're asking you, do we need a change in the rules? Here's a reminder of what happened on Saturday.
I just can't understand it. You know, you're an assistant referee, you're 70-odd yards away, you've got a goal and a net in the way, but apparently you can see. I've got a better view and I'm not in the right position.
One of those went against Forest last week at Bournemouth, and they paid the price then, and they paid the price today.
Someone's got to be able to overrule these decisions just really quickly. That'll be 5 seconds. You just go, you know, that's in play. With all the technology and all that's at stake, particularly for us at Nottingham Forest Football Club after the start the club's had.